are again, Jack on the Clock with more Mega Man 5 for the Game Boy. Well, we've defeated all of the bosses that we've seen except for one. Terra is gonna be angry. Music Witch. I finally destroyed all the space stations. Mega Man, you gotta stop jumping back every time Terra comes in. You fool, Mega Man! You have proofreading! You have meddled with my plan for the last time! We could have created a new world for all robots! I don't really want that. How can I face my master now? You have a master? Oh, that's news to me. I must redeem myself by blowing you to pieces! Yeah, we'll see how that happens. So, take a wild guess as to what Terra's weakness is. He's got a freezing weapon too, and there's not really anything you can do about it, dude. Basically, you take a hit. Unless you jump over it and don't allow it to freeze you. And Terra goes down. Only 5 blocks, so you have plenty of ammo. And as usual, for defeating the special bonus Robot Master, we get a special bonus weapon. Strength oppose. Wow, lots of enemies in front of us. All we need is one shot of the Spark Chaser. It's a beam that kind of tracks enemies and does quite a fair amount of damage. Alright. The sound is going weird again. I should have defeated all the Star Droids. Yep, Mega Man has defeated all the Star Droids. What? What's that star? Star? Really, Mega Man? Wait, it's moving. No! It can't possibly be! Wily? Is he behind us? Oh gee. Is he? Is he ever not behind us? Oops. That was close. Teleport out of the way before you get nailed by the gigantic laser beam. Hit the jets, Rush! Let's go! So now, we are rushing to the end game. Pun totally intended, of course. Probably the only time in the game you're ever going to see the traditional Mega Buster. Apart from the opening. Unfortunately, it's kind of not very useful. At least not in this section. You can't actually defeat any of these asteroids. All you gotta do is kind of go around. Whoa! Gangway. Okay, now the Buster comes in more handy. There are a few of these guys come around. You just basically have to defeat all of them. They're just gonna have about 10 of them or so. They're not that hard. They fly around kind of in annoying patterns, but... Alright, now all is good. And now we're entering hyperspace! Or not. You just kind of have to dodge the laser beams. It's not that difficult. They always appear in the same pattern, and most of them can be dodged in clusters. Alright. So, the star's weakness is the Big Mouth. but you better not be, you better not try to fire on it when it's actually charging. These shots kind of track you, but they're not difficult to avoid. It's not a super difficult battle, to be perfectly honest. You imagine Wily's Death Star would be a little bit better equipped, but you'll see what he spent all his resources on in a moment. And that allows us to go in. We shall enter the final stage of the Mega Man Game Boy series. And that's my favorite music. I mean, the music may not sound all that impressive, but it's just basically absolute perfection for the feel of the game. This is really the final assault, and the music just makes it feel like that. So we have two directions to go. I suppose I'll be going down. Eddie, your help is appreciated. I think up is maybe a little bit easier way to go, but I kind of missed the boat on it, so that's alright. I can handle going down. Give Rush Jet some screen time. It gets like none of it. Let's give Electric Shock some screen time too. Because it's probably my favorite weapon in the game, and it just doesn't get a lot of play. Thanks to the energy power generator, the ammo is really good. What's this? Tanks with Anchor. And a couple of extra lives that we don't need to spend a lot of time getting. You can go the block breaker route there, but that's just not worth it. We must fight Anchor, or basically a copy of Anchor. The charge shot kind of makes him a laugher, though. That he pretty much is always taken by the clobber hand. In predictive fashion. Because I know there's something over here. And after you defeat the each Mega Man killer, because yes, the fight is facing all of them, you'll have a passage where you drop down. In some of these screens, there are bonus content. So, in this one, Chrono Man makes an appearance. It gives us something that is not at all useful, but, well, at least he gave us something. You want to be careful, though, because it's not all good news. There's also plenty of traps down these, so just be careful. Here we have an extra life that I don't actually need. So it's a waste of time. So that effectively yielded nothing. And that's what I was talking about with traps. Watch where you drop. There's some blocks here to use Deep Digger for, which is kind of an unusual thing. But well, you know what? Since we have the opportunity, and Deep Digger doesn't get really used anymore because we've beaten the only boss that's weak to it. So we've got a fair amount of Quint here. This is what Wily was spending all his money on rather than upgrading his space station. He was spending it on making copies of the bosses we defeated already. They all have weaknesses, but really I've never felt any need to use anything other than the Buster on them. Quint has his Sakugan, as usual. It's no more effective than it ever was. Yeah, see if you can tell which one is from Mega Man 2. And it's the one that has completely useless. I don't remember if there are any bonus spots in this one. Ugh. No, there aren't. Well, that could have gone better. Fortunately, I think you checkpoint after each Mega Man killer, so that's not a huge loss. If you game over, you'll have a chance to go back to the lab to get some items. That's where you're coming from. Let's see how you like missiles! Well, you don't really all care that much about them, to be perfectly honest, but... Now there's another split path. I think I usually take the upper path, so this time I'm going to take the lower one. And that leaves us with crabs to deal with. Crabs that are releasing unusually small bubbles. And I don't trust my jumping ability across that, so... Again, rotating platforms, I'm pretty sure, yeah, you sink like you do in those ones in Uranus. So... Caution is the better part of Valor. That might be discretion, but I think caution is also a good part of discretion, so... I feel like they sink slower, though, than the ones in Uranus' stage. I don't need that E-Tank! I'm gonna get it anyway. Photon Missile, much better choice against those guys than the Buster, really. It was nice when that guy gets clobbered. And this is where the paths meet up. Store some energy, that's always nice. And shock of all shocks, now we have to face Punk. Punk! I have trouble with him still. I don't know why. Not that Punk is terrifically difficult, it's just that I don't really do well with his pattern. Alright. I think there might be more bonus here. Nope. Ugh. Kinda want to drop quickly through those, though. That's a dangerous area. So you got moving platforms, you got moving spikes, you got static spikes, you just got all sorts of things you don't want to deal with. This area is kind of reminiscent of Neptune's stage in the first, kind of the introductory areas. Same enemies, same challenges. Ow! It's also shorter than the other sections, bringing us right to Ballet. You are much less honorable than your, as a mass-produced version than as your original incarnation. You're also very hard to jump over. Alright, here is where there's definitely bonus content. This drop, though, is the hardest of all of them. Black hole! And another bonus area, but this will be the last one, I believe. And it's got bingo rollers. Well, at least I'm almost guaranteed to take a hit against them, so hopefully did kind of a lot of damage. Alright, be cautious on your way down. Oh, well, I guess there is more bonus content, but kind of unnecessary. And we have a teleportation chamber. I think you know what this means. It's time for the final gauntlet. But I'll do that in the next video. That's all from me for now. Until next time, this is Doc. I will see you later.